Dua. Let's
Okay,
go.
good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to visiting lecture today with University Custom and Finance from Ukraine. Welcome to the Honorable Mr. Roman Oleksenko for the topic Strategy Management, Analysis of Competitive Advantage. Today's session is being live streamed on Universitas STEKOM YouTube channel. And for today event, we will start with class presentation by Mr. Roman and continue with the Q&A session, time for picture and closing.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, let's we start for this class today. For Mr. Roman, the time is yours. Thank you.
thank you one more time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As I said before, depending on your time, let's start with our lecture for today. Um, Today we will discuss some issues concerning strategic management, strategic vision, and mission. I am representative of the University of Customs and Finance from Dnipro, Ukraine. I am a PhD in economics, and I'll try to show you some hints and some issues concerning the topic of our lecture. So let's start from the beginning. What is the strategy? Strategy is the basic moment concerning the strategic issues or strategic management. So to understand strategic management, we have to understand the strategy as well. Strategy is some kind of general program of actions that identifies priorities for problems and resources to achieve a general goal. So we have here some key points. These are, we have to understand our general goal. We have to obtain or find some resources to achieve this goal, and we have to put some priorities concerning these questions. So strategy should formulate the main objectives and the appropriate ways to achieve them so that the company receives a single direction of achievement. As we see here, we have to, as a company, we have to understand our main single direction concerning our main general goal. And depending on that way, we have to gather some resources, some stuff, and so on. So when we are talking about strategy, we have to understand that these are main course of our actions for the future. And this is a very important point, because we have to realize that we will fulfill this strategy during a long time. So we will implement some steps, some stages for example, for 2 or more years. And what is strategic management itself? This is a theory and practice of ensuring the competitiveness and effectiveness of solutions by developing an organization strategy while assigning responsibility for this work to its leaders. So, when we understand our strategy, we understand our main goal, we have some set of theoretical and practical issues and steps to achieve it. And the main problem and the main desire of our company on its way is to achieve some high level of competitiveness or liveliness. We have to live at the market. We have to blossom at the market. And that's why our strategy should be effective and efficient as well. So when we are talking about strategic management, we have to reach our level of competitiveness and effectiveness. And we have to use on this way all the resources concerning our main goal. And the very important point here, we have to understand that all the responsibility lies on the leaders of the company. So the first point I would like to share with you is the role of strategic management. And to depict it or describe, I would like to use canoe theory. This is a theory concerning the strategic planning, concerning strategic management as well. The first point here that we have to think of our organization as a lone canoe. So we have to realize that all of our staff, all the people connected with some main goal are present at some ship, some canoe, and we cannot leave it before we reach some goal. And that's why we have to realize that our company is a long canoe. The canoe has a destination. Destination is our main direction, or not main direction, but the final point of our main direction. This is our main goal, the general goal of our activity. Everyone in the canoe has a seat and paddle. What does it mean? It means that everyone included in this activity has his or her specific role. So everyone have to be involved in the process of moving this canoe. That's why we can talk about seat and a paddle. Everyone is expected to paddle. Yeah, if we have some role, so someone expects from us our activity, and we have to show this activity. We have to perform some actions to make all the best concerning achieving of our main goal. So everyone is expected to paddle, or everyone is expected to realize his or her own role, own functions. Those who won't paddle have to get out of the canoe. What does it mean? It means that as a manager, I have to realize who is the weak link in our canoe, who cannot act as efficiently as another staff members. We have to be ready to say goodbye to those persons who are not reliable, for example, for us concerning our activity, who cannot perform their actions in a high level or expected level. So if I see or realize that someone is not suitable for our crew inside this canoe or inside our company, I should be ready to say goodbye to those person and fire it. Or let's say I can change this person for another, or I can switch this person to another seat, and so on. It depends upon my approach, my strategic approach, my management approach, and it is connected with our whole activity concerning achieving the general goal. Those who prevent others from paddling have to readjust or get out of the canoe. So, excuse me, I'm not feeling well. So, if someone is disturbing or, I don't know, hinders something, or someone is not suitable for the another crew members and so on, we have to find his or her position in this inside this canoe, and it is like readjust someone, or we can leave this person on its previous position, but we have to we have to put another role to him, or maybe we have to say him what he has to do better. So this is the readjustment process. Or if we cannot do that, we have to say goodbye to this person or get out of the canoe. There are no passengers in the canoe. What does it mean? Everyone is obliged to fulfill his or her own functions. So no one is a passenger. Everyone works inside this canoe. We have to be the whole crew, the efficient crew. We have to realize all our mission, and we have to be directed to the one single point, our final goal. So there are no passengers in the canoe. We have to understand it and act in this direction. So crew members are multi-talented. What does it mean? When I gather my team, I have to understand that people are unique. Person is something special, is someone or something special who can give our company not only the main role of his or her actions, but this person could give us more because we have some joining with another talents, or maybe we cannot understand that this person is talented in not only managerial tasks or managerial activities. This person can realize something more. So that's why we have to realize, and to use all these talents on the way of achieving our main goal. And every person has at least 2 or more talents or some skills. So we have to understand and think all the time that crew members, everyone is multi-talented. The canoe theory itself understands crisis, different kinds of crises. Why? Because crisis management is one of the most important and the most difficult direction of activity inside the managerial theory. If we can face crisis with all our weapons, with all the activities we prepared before, then we are effective managers. We are effective managers. But if we cannot predict some crisis moments, or we cannot be prepared for the crisis itself, then we cannot be effective managers. So canoe theory directs its own efforts to understanding the crisis itself and trying to be prepared for it. Canoe theory says you have the right to be happy. This is general mission, general sending for everyone. So we have to remember, we cannot forget that every time we act, every time we do something, we try to be happy. We try to get some satisfaction. We try to earn more money, or to gain some experience, or to, I don't know, to better our image and so on. So this is a concept of happiness concerning strategic management, and canoe theory says about it. So this is very suitable for management or for depicting strategic management issues or role. This theory is suitable, and it uses many approaches, as you can see this slide. So strategic management covers the long-term goals and activities of the company. It is connected with the meaning of strategy I told you before. So if we understand that strategy is something we have to follow for a long time, so strategic management accordingly have to cover the long-term goals. And when we say about long-term goals, we can be sure that these goals are very important for our company or for our direction. Term doesn't depend upon some concrete time. For example, I cannot say you exactly that long-term goal is more than 1 year or more than 3 years. It depends upon our activity, our main direction of our company, and so on. So, in other words, long-term goals is something that is very important, very let's say very important for our company, and the term itself will depend upon the activity of our company. If we have a very fast activity circle, then long-term goals are connected with less periods, for example, with 1 year period. And if we have very durable and continuing projects, then long-term goal will be connected with, for example, 5-year period, or maybe 3-year period, or 20 years period, and so on. It can be said, excuse me, it can be said that the formulation of the strategy or course of action and its clear toolkit are the core of management and the most reliable sign of good company management. So what does it mean? We have to understand that strategy itself and some set of resources, instruments, and so on are the core of management, because without those points, we cannot manage, we cannot cope with some problems, some crises, or so on. So if we are tending to be a company with a good level of management, we have to realize that first, we find our strategy depending on our main goal, general goal. Then we have to find some resources and instruments concerning it, and we have to gather some crew members, some staff, team. And this is the basis for good, efficient management for the future. And this is obligatory. So now we can discuss some moments concerning strategic management process. As you can see here, it is a general graph. Excuse me. Okay, let's try to. I cannot read during my lecture. That's why I'll try to answer all the questions before after this presentation. So we can see here in this slide that strategic management process could be realized as procedures connected with each other, and depending upon the first step is a formulation of a mission. Formulation of mission, as you will see a little bit later, will be connected with the vision itself too. So all the steps on the process concerning strategic management formulation is first, we have to find some mission, then we have to define some strategic goals and objectives, then we have to formulate the main strategy, we have to gather our organization to fulfill this strategy. Then we have an operational period or execution of operational plan. And then we have to control the results of our activity or the results of this process. So let's start from the beginning. Formulation of the mission. When we think about mission, we have to ask ourselves, what should we declare in this mission? What should be included in it? Mission is some not very easy performed action. Mission is not very appropriate, even concerning, even related to giants of our market. So as you can see later, even main companies, worldwide known companies, cannot effectively formulate its mission or completely effectively formulate its mission, because not everyone knows concerning all the issues we have to include and show inside this mission. But one way or another, we have to think about at least 3 main points you can see here. We have to realize that general purpose of our organization activities should be put in the mission. So general purpose is a general goal. General goal forces us to think about strategy. Strategy is connected with strategic management, and so on. This is a chain of actions or chain of dependent points. The second point here is destination and philosophy of our organization. So destination and philosophy is some kind of non-material issues. It is concerning our vision, better to say, concerning our vision. How can we realize our place inside the whole world market? How can we help the society? How can we develop our country or our region, and so on? This is a destination. Philosophy is connected with another reason, another point. It is connected with our inner world, inner acceptance of some problems, acceptance of some behavior, and so on. The third point here is focus on meeting the specific needs of consumers. Why? Because our company and any company at the market acts concerning the fulfillment or meeting the needs of consumers. Consumers give us money or resources to be ready to perform our activity in future. That's why when we understand that the main person at the market is consumer, then we can meet his or her needs and try to satisfy them. So once more, consumer has some needs. It needs something or someone. Then when we can give him or her something to satisfy these needs, consumer gives us money. Money we can use for the resources or for staff for our company to perform our activity. When we perform our activity, we are ready to give more goods, give more services for the market, and meet more needs of consumers to satisfy more consumers inside the market. And this chain, excuse me, this chain of actions continues every time. But the first important position here is consumer, because consumer gives us demand, the market demand. It shows us his or her needs and is ready to pay for satisfaction. That's why we have to put this point inside our mission as well. So once more, general purpose, destination and philosophy, and needs of consumers. Or, as we can say, the consumers we try to satisfy. The second and the third stage on the process concerning strategic management formulation or strategic management process is defining strategic objectives and formulation the strategy. I joined here these 2 points to show you that they are very dependent upon each other. So when we define the strategic objectives and the main strategy, we have to answer the 3 main questions. They are following and they are shown here inside this slide. Where are we now? So this is kind of our starting position. So we have to answer, we have to be sincere, we have to be frank to ourselves and to answer exactly where are we now. So we have to realize our weakness, our strengths. We have to realize what do we have at the present time. Who are we at the current period at the market? So the main idea I try to describe here, you have to realize that to be efficient and effective in future, you have to be sincere now. You have to clearly realize what you are now and who you are now. What do you have now at current position, at the current period of time, and so on. If we are very weak, if we are outsider, we have to say about it. We have to declare to ourselves, we are weak now and we have nothing now, but we have to answer another questions. Where do we want to be? This is our final direction point, or our final, I don't know, station we want to achieve. And this is our direction arrow, as you wish. So even if you are very weak and not efficient today, you can be ready to achieve mentally something better at future. So you have to put your desire for the future position. And we have starting position and the final position. And very logic step here, we have to answer the last question. How can we get there? So by what means or what way, or with who can help us, where can we find money, where can we find resources, how many crew members we have to include inside our team, and so on. This is the answer for the question, how can we get there? So once more, 3 very simple questions, but very important. Where are we now? Where do we want to be? The final direction, and how can we get there? If you understand and clearly realize all these points, you will be efficient. This is your desire to improve yourself, to improve your company. So if you think about these 3 questions, then you are ready to perform something. You are ready for improvement. And strategic management will help you in this way. The next stage on the strategic management process is formulation of the organization. What does it mean? This point should include, for example, setting tasks for the implementation of the strategy. So when we have the main goal, we have to divide this goal into the current tasks, or we can say tactical tasks or operational tasks. When we talk a little bit later, I will describe you the position, or I don't know, do you know, I'm not ready for this question at all, I don't know. But I'll show you 3 levels of tasks, or three levels of activities: strategic, tactical, and operational. So when we say about setting tasks, we are ready to divide or break our general goal, general task, into some separate tasks connected with our general goal. So this is concerning the first point, setting tasks for the implementation of the strategy. The second point here is definition of responsibilities and distribution of powers within the organization. What does it mean? It means that when we are formulating or forming our organization, we have to find all the crews, all the crew members, or all the staff, all the persons we are needed, and we have to put on them some responsibilities and powers. So everyone should understand that he or her is performing some specific role inside this organization, inside our company. And to be more reliable and more concentrated on this process, we have to show all the power of activities, the measure of activity, let's say, for each member of our company, and we have to describe some, let's say, penalties concerning non-achieving some goals or some tasks. Let's say it's connected with responsibilities. The next stage. The next stage is execution of the operational plan. Now, what does it mean? When we put our tactical goals, we have to implement them into life. So we have to execute all the stages, all the tasks we put before. And this is concerning execution of operational plan. This plan should inform short-term planning. What does it mean? It means that this is the lowest stage of strategic management, or the lowest stage of managerial tasks. So short-term means here that these tasks would be described, for example, for one day, or maybe one cycle inside this day, for example, during this hour. If we, for example, if we perform eight cycles of our business activity inside one day, 8-hour day, working day, then we can say that during 1 hour we perform the entire cycle of our activity. And when we say about short-term goals or short-term tasks, we say about these one concrete cycle. So short-term depends upon our specifics, our characteristics and our activities. And it could be described for the lowest level of managerial activity and performing the operational activity. Let's say that short-term planning should be realized, for example, during one day when if I'm a manager, I can gather my staff and put some tasks to everyone or for the departments, separate departments. And we can say that this is daily meetings. So if our company or any company uses daily meetings, during this meeting, we will hear short-term tasks and short-term plans. If we, for example, meet once a year, then we can say about strategic planning or strategic long-term tasks. You understand that? I hope so. The next point is setting the operational tasks. It is connected with the previous point because plans include some operational tasks. And operational tasks, as I said before, are the tasks at the lowest level of activity. They are connected with performing the final actions inside the operational cycle, inside our business activity. And the last one is determine the budget. What does it mean? It means that we have to be ready for every cycle of our activity. And as I said before, it includes or involves money, resources. For example, it can be some parts of our future entire product, or maybe some sources of materials and so on. Then we have to understand who will perform this. So we have to pay money for some person or persons to perform this activity, to fulfill our operational tasks, and so on. So budget is important part of managerial activity, and we have to predict all the assets, all the money we will need later. And as you know, or know, there is separate scientific direction of researchers concerning accounting and budgeting, and there are many very complicated ways there. And if you are interested in this part of activity, it is connected with many calculations, many different formulas. I don't know how to explain you easily. It is very difficult part of economic science. But if you're interested in this, then you will be ready to know something about it. But we have, every time we have another way. We can hire some person which is professional in the budgeting, and then this person will help us as a manager to complete the efficient budget. One way or another, we have 3 points concerning operational planning. We have to put plan itself, short-term plan, then we have to set some operational tasks, and we have to determine the budget. You have some questions here? No. Okay, and the last the last stage concerning strategic management process is execution control. or control of the results of the activity. This stage should include first, monitoring the implementation of the strategy. What does it mean? We have to answer the question, do we, or no, are we happy with the results or with the ending position of implementation? So we have to answer two questions, yes or no. We have to define, did we get our final position? We planned before some final position or final stage. We planned something we want to achieve. And at the last point, we have to answer, did we get this position or no? So this is monitoring the implementation of the strategy. Then, execution assessment in accordance with pre-established standards. What does it mean? It means that we have to put the previous answer inside the mathematical area. We have to assess, we have to calculate, we have to value our activity. We have to compare our, for example, gained results and spent resources. So this is concerning assessment. Assessment means mathematical calculations. We have to use some formulas, some approaches, economical approaches, to understand how efficient we are at the point or at the way, on the way of fulfillment of our strategic action. I hope you understand. And the last point is making the necessary adjustment to the operational planning. It is important when we say concerning something that is not correct concerning our planned activity. So when we plan something, it's like some measures of activity with some specific direction. But reality can change these plans. And for example, at some stage, we can go outside our plan. So if we go outside our plan, or we cannot fulfill our plan exactly as we expected, then we have to make some adjustments. We have to adjust to tune our activity. It would be only inside this allowed, I don't know, channel of direction. You understand? So making the necessary adjustments is connected with some fix, repair of our activity. The next point we will discuss is concerning some important questions or important issues we can meet. First one, to identify the competitive advantages and disadvantages of the organization, as well as to analyze the significance of each of them. So the most important here, I highlighted with a green color, and you can see it easily. What does it mean? We have to realize when and where are we strong, where and when we can gain some privileges, or when do we have some advantages, when we can win the battle, marketing battle. And another point, we have to understand when we are weak, where we are weak, what are the main weaknesses of our activity or maybe of our planning, and so on. and we have to assess the significance of all these points. For example, we understand that we are strong at some position, but this position are not very strong, not very significant, not very important for our main course of actions. That's why we cannot rely on this. And another point, we understand that we have some troubles, some problems with some stage of our activity. So we have to assess the significance of this weakness and have to answer the question, is it harmful for our activity at all? Do we have some problems with it? Can it, I don't know, make us worse, and so on? This is concerning the first question, to identify competitive advantages and disadvantages. The second point, to find the ways for real definition of the competitive advantages, as well as the ways to reduce the impact of those disadvantages that cannot be eliminated. So when we assessed some advantages and disadvantages, we realized which one are more or less important for us, which are more or less significant for our activity. In this way, we take only the really significant or important competitive advantages, and we try to strengthen them. We try to make them stronger in order to gain more at the market battle, at the rivalry. At the different point, when we understand our disadvantages, we have to be ready to remove them, or if we can eliminate these disadvantages, we have to lower them. We have to reduce the impact of these disadvantages to our activity. This is concerning our second issue. The third issue, to decide how to develop the competitive advantages of the organization. Here we try to find the way, or try to distinguish the really strong points of our activity and weak points. And here, at the third stage, we decide how to develop the competitive advantages. What does it mean? This is more practical than the previous stages. We have to understand where can we get some resources or help of, I don't know, out organizations, for example, and we try to understand and try to fulfill something, to perform something that helps us to make our position stronger. So what does it mean? For example, in theory, we know that when we have no money, we can get some credit money. Yeah. But unfortunately, we are acting at the area in which banks are not ready to give some money for the organizations like ours. So then we have to realize that this point is not real for us. So, and we cannot put it into consideration when we answer this part of questions. In other words, we have to understand and we have to know beforehand what steps or which steps are real for us and which steps are not practically implemented for our activity. And we have to to direct all our efforts concerning the really helpful and really lively steps concerning developing our competitive advantages. And the last issue in this war is to make the decision on a strategy that is adequate to requirements of the external environment, the owner's, staff's interests. What does it mean here? We have to understand that when, for example, I'm a manager, I'm a top manager, the strategy is my point of responsibility, is my level of responsibility, and I have to understand them. When I set some goals, or I find some activities, some stuff, and so on, all my actions should be connected with the desire of another person's or another organizations. So I have to realize that I am a captain inside this canoe. I'm a captain inside this company. I am the chief here, but I am dependent upon another person's and circumstances. For example, I have to realize that our company or my company performs its activity in the whole world market. And we feel some impact from the side of another organizations, from the government, from environmental circumstances, and so on. So this is external environment. Owners, let's remember that top manager is not obligatory owner of the company. Top manager is a hired person. Understand? Hired person. So I am hired. I'm a simple worker, but at the top position. And someone else owns this company. And that person has some needs, desires, and visions. That's why we have to realize that when we put some strategy into the actions, we have to discuss this strategy with our owners or with owners of our company. And don't forget that to be effective and efficient at the fulfillment our activity and to gaining our final goal, we have to prepare our staff, our crew members. So that's why we have to make a strategy or create strategy with the interests of our staff in order our staff to be happy and ready to be reliable for our company. I hope you understand. This is a very important point here. So the next step is we have to realize common characteristics of the strategic decisions. The decision serves as a complex and comprehensive program for the future. What does it mean? Decision is the final activity from the side of manager after all the mental process of strategic planning. So decision is my activity concerning agreement of the previous process of creating some strategy. And when I say yes to some activity, I have to realize that I'm responsible for all the process from the starting yes till the end of activities, all the activities. That's why we have to understand that decision is future. So decision is connected with the future achievements. That's why we have to put into consideration all the complex of any moments we can meet during this fulfillment of our program, and so on. So I'm trying to say you that decision is very important step. You can understand and realize it when you think about something, I don't know, something common for you. For example, daily activity. Every time, every person has many different, I don't know, choices, many different kinds of products, kinds of activities, kinds of resources. For example, clothes. We have to decide what clothes we need today. But before this decision to put on something, we have to understand many different issues. For example, where do I go? When do I go? Who will I meet there? What weather is today? And so on. And only after analyzing all these issues, I put my decision into reality. I take some clothes and put on. You understand? It's like a strategic management. When we think about something long-term, we have to realize that all the aspects should be assessed. And then we have to put it into reality after saying yes. Saying yes is decision, or saying no. This is a decision which is connected with our future success or failure. It depends upon today's decision. It's very important. The next point, directive nature of decisions. When we are talking about decisions, we have to realize that all the decisions go from the top of the company. So top manager makes general strategic decisions, and then directs all the decisions at the lower positions, and it continues during the lowest position till the lowest position, and then we fulfill or perform all the activities which are necessary. And when we pass all these decisions, we have to understand that they are a kind of orders. These are directions of our activity. So it's like connection with parents or connections with respective persons. When someone who is more respected for you says to do something, then you do that activity. So this is a kind of directive nature. When top manager says that we should do this kind of activities, we have to perform them. If top manager says no, we stop our activity at all. This is directive nature. Strategic decisions are always aimed at overcoming contradictions. This is a very difficult point, because you have to realize that if we have even two choices, these are contradictions. Why? Because if we choose one direction of activity, we remove another direction of activity. We don't use another way of actions. So we have contradictions everywhere, every time, and concerning every kinds of activity. And you have to realize that contradictions in our common life is not, contradictions are not very important, but contradictions inside the business activity are more important. Why? Because I, as a manager, have to be responsible not only for my life or my thoughts, my desires, my needs. I have to realize all the important issues outside of me, and I have to weigh every step, every level of our activity. I have to find some golden middle. I have to lead my company in this ocean of problems and contradictions and try to survive in it. So strategic decisions are very important because they are aimed at the long-term activity, and I have to realize that I'll meet many different obstacles, many contradictions on the way of performing this activity, long-term activity. And I have to be ready to overcome all the contradictions, to win all the battles on the way, and to be very efficient at the final point. I think you understand. Now we can say about comparative analysis of strategic and operational decisions. Here I put some indicators which is suitable for this kind of questions. And here we have two decision features for operational tasks and strategic tasks, or for operational and strategic activity. And between these two directions, there is another I don't know, level is tactical decisions, tactical activity, tactical tasks, and so on. But to show you the difference between these two general activities, operational and strategic, I decided not to put here the tactical one. So when we talk about the type of decision, we have to realize that operational decisions are very well structured. What does it mean? We have to understand every little step of our activity. So it's like algorithm of actions, of acts. For example, I want to make tea. Yeah, I have to boil. I have to go to the kitchen. I have to I don't know, find a fire. Then I have to boil, for example, kettle. Yeah. Then I have to put some tea inside the cup. Then I put some boiled water there, and this is ready. Tea is ready. And this is operational activity, well-structured chain of actions. Strategic planning or strategic types or strategic decisions are poor structured. Why? Because I'm planning for the future. For example, I imagine something which is suitable for my company in 5 years. How can I know what could I meet exactly at this way? I cannot realize exactly all the definite problems or obstacles, or maybe some benefits in this way. That's why I'm only think about something unlimited for the future. I decide something, yeah. I put some goal for future, yeah. But I cannot describe exactly what does it mean. For example, a strategic decision is to act at the market of some country. For example, my company is inside Ukraine or Indonesia, yeah, and I make a decision, strategic decision to act, for example, in Latin America, for example, in Argentina. This is a strategic decision, but I am not really ready to answer the question, what can I meet exactly there? I only realize the common area of activity, or maybe common steps, and so on. So this is like a poor structured decision. When we are talking about frequency of application, operational decisions often repeated and stereotyped. Why? Because I told you before today, every operational activity, every operational task is connected with a separate cycle. And we can have many cycles inside one day, even one day. And that's why we have to realize that our steps, business steps, are very stereotyped and repeated every time. We do something more and more times. For example, we don't realize in our common life how or what exact steps we do when we prepare tea or brush teeth or put some clothes on and so on. These steps are very often repeated for us and stereotyped. We do them automatically, and this is operational level. You understand? Strategic level, this is something new and unusual. Why? I don't say that this is a new at all, something creative and so on. No, this is new and unusual for our company. For example, some activity is already presented at the market, but this is not connected. It is not connected with our company for a while. That's why we can say that this activity is new and unusual for our company and our staff, our environment. And when we meet something new and unusual, we have to be ready to fail. We have to be ready to be in problems, to meet some risks, obstacles, and so on. The next step, goals. When we say about operational goals, operational decisions, we think about clear and concrete points. What does it mean? It's like preparing some tea, as I told you before. So you put something, you add something, you join with something, and so on. So you have to fulfill all the operations which are decided before. For example, someone told you to act in that way. And you have to, for example, meet some concrete person, ask some specific questions, gain some experience specific, or I don't know, obtain some resources and then use in a specific area. This is operational decisions, operational activity concerning goals. When we're talking about strategic decisions or strategic level, these goals are always relatively uncertain. It is connected with the first point when we say about poor structured decisions. Information concerning operational activity is easily accessible and reliable. When we're talking about strategic decisions, this information is hard to reach, focus, or forecast estimates. Why? Because we have to understand that we are planning now and concerning the future activity. And between today and, for example, 5-year period, there is a very significant, huge gap, time gap. And we cannot understand what information we can meet, for example, in 2 years, or, for example, today, but later. So when we have some strategic direction, this information is hard to reach. We cannot predict specifically what would we gain in 1 year, in 2 years, and so on. We only can expect something, but cannot be sure in the real results. Consequences for operational decisions are relatively insignificant. Why? Because if we fail inside this operational activity, we failed inside only one cycle, but we can fix some problems, and another cycle would be much more successful for us, or next cycles will be efficient. But if we fail in strategic decision, we fail at all. We can become bankrupt, for example, in 4 years, if we go on the wrong direction of activity. But we put a huge amount of resources there, huge amount of time there, and so on. And that's why we can say that consequences of strategic decisions are very important. The next point, organizational level, at the concerning operational decisions, is a lower and middle level of management, and strategic level is top level of management. Time to make a decision. When we are talking about operational activity, it is short time concerning one single period or one single cycle of business activity, and strategic long term. We told many times today about it. And the last one, the basis for the decisions, or basis for the decision. Concerning operational activity, it could be rules or set of procedures which are implemented before and which are stereotyped for the concrete cycle of activity. If we are talking about strategic decisions, the basis for them are assessment and creativity. So we have to realize, to think of something unusual for our company. We have to be creative, we have to be risky, we have to be ready to do something for the future. So this is a strategic and operational differences. And last, we go into strategic thinking and vision. When we're talking about vision and thinking, this is a point or issue of new term, modern term, very popular, locality, or to think globally and act locally. Locality. This is the ability of systematic thinking, which involves a certain combination of logic and intuition. So, when we're talking about vision, or strategic thinking, we have to put into consideration our intuition and logical processes. These are basics for the effectiveness of our vision. Strategic thinking and vision is connected with stages of decision making. And here we should use analysis, synthesis, and evaluation as a minimum required points. For example, when we say about analysis, we divide our whole goal or task into some separate parts. When we are talking about synthesis, it's opposite process. It's like a connection of parts in a new way. For example, we have something entire, then we divide it into pieces, and then we join all these pieces, all the presented pieces, into something new. This is synthesis. And evaluation is like assessment or study of consequences of what was formed, what new was formed. We have to weigh the new and the previous form of something and try to understand what is or which is more appropriate for our company or for ourselves, let's say. The main issues of strategic thinking and vision of the organization. When we say about strategic thinking, we have to ask ourselves, what can we do? What could we do? What would we like to do? And what must we do? When we say or when we decide what can we do, we put into consideration strong and weak sides of our activity. What could we do is something for future. These are our opportunities and some threats. If you studied before the SWOT analysis, have you studied it? No? Okay. These 4 points are connected inside the SWOT analysis approach. Strong, weak, opportunities, and threats. And we will talk about it next lecture. Next question, what would we like to do? So it's kind of our desires and objectives. What want we obtain in future? Where can we be? And so on. What must we do? It's like our resources, responsibilities, and powers. When we say about strategic vision, we put into consideration the following questions. Do our processes and systems support the strategy? Does our organizational structure support the strategy? Does our organizational culture correspond to the strategy? What kind of leadership is needed to implement our strategy? What does it mean? For example, from the beginning, do our processes and systems support the strategy? We have to compare our strategy and our real strategy. It's like plan, long-term planning. We see our plan and we see our current activities, and we have to compare, are they similar or not? Then, does our organizational structure support the strategy? Once again, we have our plan, long-term plan strategy, and we have our current organizational structure. It's like different divisions, departments, some persons on the positions, and so on. And we have to understand, does it correspond? Does this organizational structure correspond our strategy? Would it be helpful in future to use this organizational structure to perform our activity and reach our goals. Then we put into consideration our organizational culture, so our philosophy, our inner world, our behavior, and so on. It's like organizational culture. And the last point is leadership. What does it mean? Once more, I told you before, and I'm telling you now, that top manager is not obligatory owner of the company. So this is a hired person, and that's why this person, top manager, this person can be changed anytime. If the leadership of this person is not suitable for the company, then we can change this person. We can hire another person, and so on. And this is concerning leadership. This slide is something similar with the previous one, but it's more comprehensive. Components of strategic vision. We have here again, let's say, processes, structure, culture, leadership. Processes, structure, culture, and leadership. When we say concerning processes and systems, these are examples how can it be implemented. For example, we can say that we dedicate ourselves to our customers, or we provide our customers with the highest quality product. When we say something concerning organizational culture, for example, we can declare that we insist on personal honesty and we guarantee complete confidentiality, and so on. So these are examples concerning implementation of strategic vision into the life, real life. How can it sound, how can it be showed, and so on. Types of organizations depending on their behavior at the market. It's like some classification, but it is not obligatory to use. But we have to realize as managers that we can meet at the market some kinds of very common groups of organization. For example, organization that manage events. These are leaders at the market. They can say something, they can make some directions, and market will perform this activity. Perform, not really, but will try to implement these desires. So when we say about companies which can manage events, we can say here that these are leaders. The next group is companies which can react to events. They are not leaders, but they are following leaders. So these are strong companies with significant share at the market, but they cannot manage events. They can only react to events, but they react to all the events efficiently, and this is very important. The next group of companies is connected with those followed the development of events. So these companies are at the middle level of the market. They cannot manage or react efficiently every time, but they can follow or adapt to the development of these events. They can be ready, but not every time. They can change their activity concerning the requirements of the market. These organizations are flexible. because they are not very huge. They have less share of market. That's why they can change the direction of their actions in a short period. And the last group is connected with companies which think why it happened. So these companies cannot manage events, cannot react to events efficiently, cannot even follow the development of events, but they can only think why it happened. So this is like some viewers. They can only say and feel at their skin that something is happened at the market. And they try to think why it happened in order to learn how to predict something in the future and to be adapted in that period. The next point is connected with strategic vision. Vision is the guiding philosophy of business, the substantial of existence of the organization. Not the goal itself, but its core feeling. This is very important. Vision is not a goal. Vision is a feeling, is something abstract. We cannot, a goal is something specific already, more or less. But vision is core feeling, general feeling. A vision is an ideal picture of the future, the state that can be achieved under the most favorable conditions. So we know that ideal is not existent. Yeah, ideal picture is only our imagination, but this is the most suitable for us, something most suitable for us in future. So in that way, we can put into consideration that only very favorable conditions would lead us to this perfect future, perfect picture. And we have to be ready that this ideal world not obligatory would be reached from our position, but we try to follow this idea and we try to make our best to be I don't know to be close to this ideal picture, but we cannot achieve it in the future. We have to understand it. The meaning of the concept of vision. Vision is a good way to motivate the staff of organization, especially large, decentralized ones. What does it mean? When we create a suitable and effective vision, we can talk about motivation of people. It's like you can imagine any leader you heard in your life. It could be president, it could be some political person, it could be some, I don't know, celebrity, and so on. And when this only one person tries to explain something or say something to the followers are motivated. If the words of this person are suitable or are expected for the staff or for the followers, then this person is leader. He or her can lead all this mass of people and tries to charge these people, to motivate them to do their best on the way of achieving goals. Not exactly the business goals, I'm talking about the common life, the real life. So every vision can be effectively used for motivation people, because this is an ideal world, ideal picture, ideal situation, ideal expectations. And for example, you want to, let's say about Ukraine. As you know, we have war now, and when someone tries to put into informational area some motivational words like "we will win in future," "we will gain all our goals," and so on, we trust this person. This is the first reaction of our psychology, trust. So vision or expectation of ideal world, which is suitable for our perceiving of the situation, all this motivates us for this ideal world. We are ready to perform our activity the best way to achieve it in a long or less period. So vision is motivation. Effective vision is very efficient motivation. Vision creates a sense of perspective in the activities of the organization, ensures the clarity of its consistent goals. What does it mean? It means that all another aspects of the organization, including mission, will be connected with the vision. And this vision makes all the following or future steps connected with each other. And it's like a heredity of goals or heredity of levels of activity and so on. I hope you understand. Now we will talk about mission of the organization. We have 20 minutes more and try to explain all the aspects here. Mission of the organization. It's clearly defined principles of its existence. So when we talked about vision, we say that it was not defined. It was something abstract, ideal picture. And now, when can we say about mission? It is clearly defined of existence, principles of existence. Mission is a more specific reference point than a vision. The proclamation of the mission is the naming of the marks and general goals that the organization is trying to achieve. Not only this information, as you can see a little bit later, but the proclamation at least concerning general goals. The special importance of the mission in the activities of the organization. This is a basis for all management decisions of the organization for further determination of its goals and objectives. What does it mean? Mission is something more specifically defined than vision, but this is not the goal itself. Mission is like a concrete direction of activity or concrete steps or desires, concrete, specific, but not the goals themselves. Because here we can only limit some areas we desire to act in. But this is a basis for goals and objectives for future. Then, mission creates confidence that the organization strives for non-conflicting, clear, comparative goals. What does it mean? When we create mission, we try to predict all the obstacles and some contradictions inside these formulating. And when we see something not suitable or not connected with each other, we try to readjust it or create something new, to do something another way, and so on. So here we can say that mission should be, we can say, short, not in one sentence exactly, but mission should be short, concrete, clear, and including some goals of our activities. Then the next point, mission helps to focus the efforts of employees in the chosen direction to unite their actions. So when we declare our mission, the mission of our company, we pay attention to the interests of many parts of our business activity, including outside and inside world or environment. And the employees is very significant part of our activity, because it is one of the resources for our success in future. So that's why we try to focus inside the mission on the issues concerning our employees as well. And the last, mission creates understanding and support among external participants, those who are interested in its success. So, as I told you recently, mission is something united or something connected with every part of our business activity, external and internal. So here we have to put into consideration our external desires or expectations. For example, it is very popular today to be sustainable, to be green oriented, and so on. So we declare that we will help our nature, earth nature, to be prospect in future, to be blossom, and we try to act in non-harmful way concerning the nature, and so on. We will say it later. The mission is formalized in the program statement of the organization, and this time the mission statement covers the main activities of the organization in relations to the products or services it provides and target customers. So what does it mean? We should understand that mission is obligatory, should include some points concerning products or services we realize or we prepare for the market, and consumers, because consumers are those who will give us resources for future activity. The next point, the most important principles that should be followed, the organizational activities. So we add here some principles of our activity or our expectations for the future, our intensives, and so on. And here you can see the context of the mission when you form it. You can meet different ways of formulating or classification of points, necessary points inside the mission. But here I propose you to pay attention to the most common, to the most popular one. Okay, the first, description of product services provided by the organization. So we have declared what we produce at the market. Next, identification of main consumers. we have to limit the area or the characteristics of consumers we will act for. So identification of the main consumers. Then markets. We have to define the concrete areas of our activities. For example, technological market or chemical market, local market or international market. It is all these positions are here. Then general definition of goals of our organization. What does it mean? The main expectations of our organizations should be declared inside the mission. Technology, a characteristic of technological processes, innovative approaches. What does it mean? We can state at the mission that we use, for example, modern, non-harmful, or high-end technologies to achieve our goals. This is a part of mission which declares something about technology. Then philosophy, basic views on the values of the organization which serve as the basis for systems of motivation. What does it mean? It means our inner world of our organization. So how can we realize, how can we imagine our behavior, our connection with another world, and so on. This is philosophy. Then internal concept in which an organization describes its own impressions of itself, naming the sources of its power. It is connected with searching our strong position, our opportunities, our advantages, and so on. This is internal concept. So how can we see ourselves? For example, I can declare that nowadays, or just, we are a newborn company at the market, but we wish to reach the leader position in 5 years, for example, or maybe without any concrete date, we wish to become leader in future. And this is internal concept. So we pay into consideration some our achievements nowadays and try to implement them into the mission and show for the future activity. And the last point is external position of the organization, its image, emphasizing the economic and social responsibility of the organization to partners, consumers, society as a whole. So this is another point, another activity, or another side of our mission. It's the previous one. How can we see ourselves? But external position, how any other organizations see us at the market. The mission is formed by the owners and senior managers, top managers of the organization. These are factors we have to take into account or pay attention to when we form the mission. Legislation that regulates organizational activities, founding documents, history of organization and its internal culture, the structure of the organization, and professional and personal traits of key people who make strategic decisions. And we have to reach some balance of values and functions in the formation of the mission. So we have to connect abstract values and functional goals. Inside abstract values, we pay attention to skills, serving people, cooperation, and quality. And when we talk about functional goals, we think about marketing, scientific and research results, personal management, and so on. And we have to avoid some steps or some moments when forming our mission. The first one, the presence of only abstract values or only functional goals. It's connected with the previous slide. We have to find here and find the golden middle and connect abstract values and functional goals. And we have to avoid only abstract values or only functional goals. Then we have to avoid choosing a mission that is too complex or too narrow. Why? Because too complex mission will confuse the reader or listener. Too narrow mission would be not understandable for use. And we try to keep the mission, not keep the mission in secret from the staff of the organization. In other words, we have to declare the mission of the organization every time. Every person in our organization should be acknowledged with our mission, because don't forget, mission is connected with vision, and vision is a very important issue to motivate people. So we have to keep this mission in secret. We have to create mission and open it for the world. You understand? I hope so. And the last point I would like you to do, despite the listening, is practical case. And this is a kind of home practical case. I would like to discuss it at the beginning of the next lesson. So this practical case is connected with Nestlé company. As you know, this is a worldwide known company connected with food production, and it was founded in the middle of 19th century, and it is named after its creator with the surname Nestlé. And now you can see here vision and mission of this company. I propose you to make print screen to analyze all of these at home and try to make your decision concerning the effectiveness or concerning the correctness of vision and mission. So you have put into consideration all the above mentioned information I told you concerning the vision. What is it? What should it include? And so on. And mission. Exactly, mission. It's the most important, because vision, we can set vision in the outer position. So our consumers or all the environment can see only mission, because mission of the company is something which is declarable, but vision could be existing only inside the company. So pay attention first at the mission of the Nestlé company and try to analyze the correctness of it, the strong points of it, the weak points. And we will discuss this next time. If you have some questions, I am ready to answer. We have 5 minutes more. Even less. You have some questions? Okay. How can organization effectively leverage dynamic capabilities in their strategic management processes to continually adapt and sustain competitive advantages in an ever-evolving business landscape? This is a very difficult question. We will try to understand part of this question during the next classes when we will talk about competitive advantages analysis. But in short, I can tell you that we should be future-oriented for the first. Then we have to be professional. So even if I, as a top manager, cannot obtain some knowledges, or maybe I'm not professional in some directions, I have to find out who is more professional than I am, and then hire this person to try to use the knowledge of this person or professionalism of this person and implement in our activity. The third point, we have to be, we have to put our hand and we have to feel our pulse, the pulse of the market, and we have to analyze all the changes at the market. And don't forget, if we choose the right strategic direction, then tactical and operational directions could be changed with adaptation of the changing environment. And then we can, I don't know, to act concerning the changing of something, I don't know, for example, the desires of the consumers, or the payment abilities of the market, and so on. But this is a very important question, and it has no one concrete answer. So market changes every time. We want to be efficient and successful at this market. So we have to put into consideration all the requirements market shows us, and try to pay attention firstly to our strongest points. Then we will be in a winning position in a rivalry, so we can win the competitive battle using only our strong positions. And when we are successful in achieving strong position, then we think about removing our weaknesses and so on. And this time we will create some possibilities, opportunities for the future evolving. One more question. How can the integration of the resource-based view and Porter's 5 forces frameworks enhance the depth of precision of competitive advantages analysis and the field of strategic management, and what practical implementation does this integration hold for organizations seeking sustainable competitive success? Let's talk about it next time. As I told you before, we have the second part concerning the analysis of competitive advantages, and we will talk about Porter's 5 forces, SWOT analysis, matrix of perceiveness, and so on and so on. So I don't answer this question. And question from Kyla. What key factors should organizations consider in conducting a comprehensive analysis of competitive advantages? Once more, analysis of competitive advantages. You can put all these questions, save somewhere, and then ask me next time, next classes. Okay? It concerns our next information. That's why I don't want to answer now. I hope you understand. Concerning mission and vision, you have some questions? I have a link here. I don't know.
No. This
It's
is
not for me?
the link absent for student. Sure.
Yeah, okay, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Well, so if you have no questions concerning mission and vision, then let's see, let's meet next time, okay? And have a nice day.
Okay, thank you so much for Mr. Roman for your time and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. Before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Thank you. Thank you for your keen cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of visiting lecture today. We would like to say thank you for Mr. Roman for the wonderful information. At times, we hope to have more collaboration in the future with University Custom and Finance from Ukraine. The visiting lecture for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you so much for Mr. Roman.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a nice day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.